Coming up tonight on Reporting Scotland News at 7, the principal of Edinburgh University says there needs to be a radical change to the way Scottish students are funded. And the US says it will give up trying to broker a Russia-Ukraine peace deal within days unless there are clear signs one can be reached. Good evening. The principal of Edinburgh University says there needs to be a radical change to the way Scottish students are funded. Sir Peter Matheson's comments came as higher education here has been hit by a drop in fee-paying international students as well as rising costs. Ministers say they're looking at the issue but insist tuition fees will not be brought back. Here's our business and economy editor Douglas Fraser.
A grand old institution with a modern world-class reputation, bringing students and staff flocking to the Scottish capital. Edinburgh University has nearly 50,000 students and its staff numbers have grown rapidly to more than 18,000 in 500 buildings.
The idea that everyone has their own territory and nobody else should ever come into it, I think that is something that we need to get away from.
Its principal and vice-chancellor says income is not rising fast enough to meet expenditure, so he's targeting £140 million in annual savings.
Immigration, geopolitics, national insurance, inflation, supply chain issues, costs of utilities, etc. All of those things are beyond our control, but there are some things which are within our control, and that includes the way we spend our money and also the way we do things. We think we've got a lot of duplication and inefficiencies.
While he's not intending to close departments or cut student numbers, some courses will be closed to new entrants, and he's not ruling out compulsory redundancies. Edinburgh is not alone in this. Aberdeen University announced cuts this week, joining Robert Gordon's facing strike action, and Dundee with a severe crisis and a question mark over its survival. Universities are in trouble. They've come to depend on foreign student fee income to subsidise Scottish students. While the Scottish Government pays roughly £7,500 per student, those from the rest of the UK pay £2,000 more in fees, still not thought to be enough. From China, India and Nigeria, much higher fees are welcome but not reliable income.
The system needs more money. So it either needs more money from government, if they want to prioritise this over them. I mean, there are many calls on the public purse. There are other options, a hybrid system where some people pay fees and some don't, or a graduate contribution. There are various other models. If you want to maintain a system of the current size and the current quality, you have to fund it properly, and at the moment it's not funded adequately.
What are you saying is the consequence of not addressing the issue that you're raising?
You only have to look an hour and a half north of here to see what happens. I mean, the University of Dundee has been proven to be very fragile when their international student recruitment dramatically fell. I think it would be a tragedy for Scotland if other universities were to get themselves into a similar situation.
The Scottish Government says it's open to exploring new ways of funding higher education, but not to introducing tuition fees payable by Scottish students. Douglas Fraser, Reporting Scotland, Edinburgh.
Some of the day's other stories now. 3 people have been charged in connection with drugs and firearms offences in Edinburgh. Officers seized a number of weapons after a raid in Crewe Road Gardens. 2 men aged 41 and 61 and a 17-year-old woman are to appear at Edinburgh Sheriff Court tomorrow. The arrests come in the middle of a number of gang-related incidents in Edinburgh and Glasgow. Italian authorities say a British couple were among 4 people killed when a cable car crashed to the ground near Naples yesterday. The cable snapped just 2 weeks after passing a safety inspection. A 5th person was airlifted to hospital with extremely serious injuries. 16 people had to be rescued from another cable car. A criminal investigation has been opened. The United States says it will stop trying to broker a Russia-Ukraine peace deal within days and move on unless there are clear signs that a deal can be done. The US Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, made the comments in Paris just hours after Ukraine said it had signed an outline mineral deal with Washington in exchange for investing in the country's recovery. Our Ukraine correspondent, James Waterhouse, reports from the southern city of Odessa.
Russian missiles continue to strike Ukrainian cities. 3 hit Kharkiv in the northeast. 1 person was killed and around 100 were injured. Peace is more of a concept than a prospect here.
I have crazy emotions. I don't have a room on this side of the house. Everything was smashed. The ceiling and the door were torn off.
As for how the war could end, the first meeting of American, European and Ukrainian officials in Paris had been hailed as positive. Then the US Secretary of State said this.
We'll be ready to help whenever you're ready to have peace, but we're not going to continue with this endeavor for weeks and months on end. So we need to determine very quickly now, and I'm talking about in a matter of days, whether or not this is doable over the next few weeks. If it is, we're in. If it's not, then we have other priorities to focus on as well.
Ukraine had hoped the US would run out of patience with Russia and even slap further sanctions on Moscow as it continued to strive for this ceasefire. But if it was to back out now, especially with American aid looking like it's going to dry up, that would leave Ukraine even more vulnerable. This is despite Washington and Kyiv finally agreeing to an investment framework that could see the US receive a portion of Ukraine's profits from its critical minerals like titanium, lithium and uranium, as well as its energy infrastructure and oil and gas. It's not thought to contain any security guarantees in return to support a future ceasefire. Moscow insists it is open for talks and striving for peace, all as it continues to both seize and occupy Ukrainian territory. James Waterhouse, BBC News, Odessa.
The Scottish Conservative leader says he's not going to attend an anti-right-wing summit being held by the First Minister next week. Russell Finlay's dismissed it as a talking shop. Here's our political correspondent, Andrew Kerr.
The First Minister announced the summit at the end of February with this warning.
Storm clouds are gathering, we can all see them. The threat from the far right is real. But that leaves me all the more convinced that working together is not only the right choice, but the only choice.
John Swinney's holding the gathering in Glasgow on Wednesday. Civic Scotland representatives are invited and political parties, but not Reform UK. Nigel Farage is firmly in the First Minister's sights. Reform UK described the summit today as desperate and anti-democratic, saying the political establishment's worried about them smashing the Holyrood consensus. The Conservative leader was sceptical and today rejected the invitation to attend.
What is the point in attending a summit which just allows John Swinney to showboat and to grandstand and to make all sorts of noises to no avail? This is a government that governs by press release. Get on with the job. Get on with governing Scotland.
The First Minister urged him to think again, saying, "I'm disappointed that you appear to be searching for reasons not to take part in this important discussion. I hope that you will reflect, put aside politics and agree to take part." The summit and the reaction to it highlight shifting divides in Scottish politics. Andrew Kerr, reporting Scotland.
Time for a look at the day's sporting news. And after last night's Europa League exit ended Rangers' hopes of silverware this season, Yanis Hagi says they must respond by winning their remaining 5 Premiership games. The Ibrox side went down 2-0 to Athletic Bilbao in the quarter-finals of the competition, and they're looking to finish what has been a disappointing domestic campaign on a positive note.
For our pride, for the pride to represent the club as best as possible. We won't hide away. We underachieved this season. It's the reality, but that doesn't mean that we don't have to show up for the last 5 games and go out there and win them.
St Johnstone manager Simo Valakari says Sunday's Scottish Cup semi-final against Celtic is a day where miracles can happen and heroes can be born. The Perth side go into the match as massive underdogs, but take confidence from the fact they defeated Celtic in the Premiership just 2 weeks ago.
Yes, we play against the champions to be. We play the team who wants to win the treble, this season. But at the same time, we want to get to final as well. So we need to play it. And yes, we know we need to, again, play close to perfect game. We need to do a lot of good things. We need to have heroes on the field. It's a game we can go and enjoy. And then at the same time, it's football. Anything can happen, both ways.
The semi-finals get underway tomorrow with Hearts against Aberdeen live on BBC One Scotland from midday. Now, while some sports clubs might be struggling for members, one club in Inverclyde is enjoying a huge surge in membership and success on the rugby pitch. Greenock Wanderers now has just under 200 girls and women playing at its Fort Matilda ground. And tomorrow, the women's first team will play Wigtonshire in the National Shield final at Murrayfield.
Good, Michelle.
2 seasons ago we wanted to start a second team because we were just a wee bit too big for one team but not big enough for two, and so we decided to run a women's beginners come try boot camp because I thought to myself, I need 10 girls, how do I get them here? They don't want to be the worst one at training, so why don't I just bring them all together during the off season and teach them how to play touch rugby? We thought we'll get 5 or 6 girls, and then 60 turned up, and since then we've taken 82 women from never having touched a rugby ball to having played in a competitive game.
I came down one night just after COVID and I've fell in love and been here since.
I started just in this season, there, done a recruitment day in July, and I was just looking for something to do. I wasn't really doing anything. I thought I need to pick something up, and it was just by chance I seen they were having a wee give it a go session. I was like, oh, I'll go down, give it a wee try, and oh my God, I'm so glad I did. It's just changed my life.
Saturday will be my 100th cap for the Wanderers, which is a dream come true. I had a year out actually when I had my daughter in 2023, so coming back from having a baby and getting fit again has been a struggle. So to be able to come back and I get to the final again on my 100th cap is something I could only have dreamt of back in 2013, so yeah, very special.
Pick the ball up and pop off, 3 wee passes, then we've got the space. Then we run hard at them. I think my first reaction when the girls asked me to coach was saying, I said no, you've got far too much work to get done there. Boy am I glad I kept it on. They just want to learn and get better, and for any team environment, that's fantastic.
Right, time now for a look at the weather forecast, and the big question, Judith, are we going to have soggy Easter eggs?
No, I didn't expect that one.
I was going to ask you there.
You got me. No, it looks like it's going to be dry on Easter Sunday and much of Easter Monday as well. And it will improve. We'll see more in the way of sunshine developing. But yeah, looking at a wet night tonight. Thank you very much, lovely Laura. Look at that though. Shetland escaping all the rain. It's been a beautiful day here. And actually, they're not looking too bad over the next couple of days. But we have a weather system that's been giving us a bit of a headache. Just a day or so ago, we were thinking the rain was going to stay offshore, but it's slap bang across us as we speak, and it will eventually start to pull away to the west and allow things to dry up during the course of tomorrow and indeed for Easter Sunday as well. But it is a wet look to the evening for many of us. Some really heavy bursts of rain through parts of Argyll this evening. The heavier rain making its way further north into Skye and the Uist as we head through this evening and tonight. Drier in the east as we head through the overnight period. It stays dry for the very far north and indeed the Northern Isles, save for the odd shower for Shetland. Temperature-wise, if you notice them tonight, around about 6 Celsius or thereabouts. So into tomorrow, eastern Scotland predominantly dry but fairly cloudy. We still have that wet weather in the west. The rain gradually pushing offshore, becoming confined to the Western Isles and Skye, where it will be heavy and persistent. A legacy of cloud and patchy rain lingering for the west coast as we head through tomorrow. But it will brighten up for the south. Indeed, some good sunny spells for the south. Some drier air coming up here, making it feel a wee bit better. And some sunshine for the northeast, Caithness and indeed the Northern Isles as well. So for Easter Sunday, any early rain across the northwest should clear away, leaving most places dry. Some sunshine coming through for southern and eastern Scotland. Easter Monday, the risk of 1 or 2 showers for the northwest, but generally dry, but fairly cloudy in nature. So that's your forecast, Easter forecast.
Not too bad. Thank you very much, Judith. And that is all from us this evening. The team will be here with updates across the weekend. But for now, from everyone here, do enjoy the rest of your evening and the rest of the weekend. Bye-bye.